Many mixers struggle with achieving the perfect reverb sound, which leads to cluttered mixes and a lack of depth. Enter Izotope Aurora, designed to be an intelligent reverb that will carve out space for your instruments and clear up mud in your mix. Is it the game changer they claim? Let's take a look. But first, I'm trying to grow this channel and make it my career, so please subscribe, like, and share, and consider joining my Patreon or YouTube membership to enjoy perks and support the channel's growth. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to bring up a dry house mix here and try to add depth to the mix with Aurora. This lead synth needs some spatial enhancement. I'm going to insert Aurora. Now, this is a pretty dead simple interface. This isn't a deep reverb in terms of detailed controls, so I'll explain it as I go. Now, I almost always use reverb as a send effect, but it seems like Izotope designed this more as an insert reverb. However, all you have to do to use Aurora as a send is hit the solo reverb button, making the effect 100% wet. But otherwise, we use the reverb amount to control the reverb level. I'll raise the amount. Okay, this reverb is pretty subtle sounding. I use the bypass. I like that it has a built-in bypass, by the way. Let's try a different algorithm. I like chamber. I'm trying to use the reverb to extend the notes. And I'm betting I can get away with a very long, very wet reverb once I engage ducking. Okay, I like this. Let's see what we can get away with. So increase the length. Let's make it wider. The width slider doesn't seem to do much, but it does already have a nice stereo widening effect. Interesting. Let's try the tone slider. Oh. Oh yes, that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to decrease the pre-delay so the reverb sticks to the initial attack more. Oh, that's amazing. Now let's engage the unmask feature, which will duck the reverb according to the distinct spectral imprint of the synth lead. Okay, cool. We can lower the release time so the reverb tail comes in sooner. You know what? Screw it. Let's max out the reverb time for more effect. Okay, that's a cool effect. All the reverberation is overlapping. Let's hear it without any unmasking. Yeah, that's a bit much. But with unmasking engaged, we get all the beauty of the effect without all the clutter. Wonderful. Let's bypass. Amazing. Something I noticed with Aurora is that it's really good at adding stereo enhancement to tracks. Like if you have a dull snare or a mono synth or bass line, Aurora can give you that pro-sounding width without chorusy effects or sacrificing clarity. Here's a mono synth arp. Pretty basic sound, right? Let's insert Aurora. I'm going to select room for short, tight, natural reverb. I'm going to lower the reverb right down and the pre-delay. Keep it around there. Now I'll crank up the effect. Well, that sounds great. It's like a very transparent Haas effect. The synth arp still sounds great, even without ducking. Let's bypass. If I max out the amount, it does sound slightly washed out. Let's add some unmasking. Oh, look at that. And now I have the amount cranked fully, and I can duct the reverb only in the crucial mid-range, letting more of the dry signal through, but the synth still sounds nice and wide. Bypass. Yeah, definitely not boring now. I'll lower that lead. Now we've added stereo widening, but what if I want to add a nice reverb tail to this arpeggio as well, for more depth and atmosphere? Let's set up Aurora as a send. And you have to switch it to solar reverb, so it's 100% the reverb, no dry signal. Simple as that. And to be clear, once you use solar reverb, the amount knob merely acts as a gain control for the reverb. So you can just set that by ear. I'm going to use the hall on this for a nice spacious character. I like the hall, plate, and room algorithms the best. The other ones are more subtle, but fully worth exploring. Ambience is also a good choice for subtle width adding. Okay, this arpeggio is sounding way more exciting now. Let's bypass both the insert and the send. I really like the depth and width it's bringing to this mix. What's next? Vocals, of course.
You can have it, you can have it now. You can have it, you can have it now.
Let's try using the same hall reverb send as our arpeggio, so the synth arp and vocal are in the same location. This can help glue a mix together, sharing a reverb across tracks. But this can also lead to frequency buildup in the reverb, causing a muddy mix, so let's try this out.
You can have it, you can have it now. You can have it, you can have it now. You can have it, you can have it now. You can
Yeah, I like this already. Not too long, not too short, and as we can see, Aurora is ducking the reverb now for both the vocal and the arpeggio. This is really useful. Basically, the aggregate sum of all your tracks can be unmasked in the reverb, meaning you can have a strong reverb in the background, adding depth and enhancements, but your basic clean mix is protected. Of course, there are times where you want full spectrum reverb, and that's possible here too. But I feel like Aurora's strength really is with more subtle, classy reverb shaping. This reverb is a great choice for those who are learning and struggling with clarity over adding spatial effects. Let's bypass the ducking. So much cleaner. So I like this, but let's try the plate on the vocal.
You can have it, you can have it, you can have it, you can have it now. You can have it now. You can have it, you can have it now.
Ooh, I like this a little better. It seems to stick to the vocal more clearly. I'm gonna raise the tone. Yeah, that brings out more of the breath. Let's adjust the ducking. Check out how rich and wide it sounds when it's on, as opposed to bypassing. I'm going to add an insert of Aurora to the voice and use that for stereo widening, like a doubler. Okay, let's hear the before and after. Bypass all the Auroras. Wow, I really love this silky, wide dimension Aurora adds to the mix. I find that Aurora has a really unique, smooth sonic signature that helps it stand out, and I really miss it when it's gone. Just for fun, let's see what my previous algorithmic reverb sounded like. It's my old favorite, Art's Acoustic Reverb. So while I love how strong and assertive Art's Acoustic Reverb is, I can already hear it bunching up in the low mids. And I want that easy unmasking control that Aurora has. I tell you, it's pretty addictive having a built-in spectral sidechain. Other things to mention are attack and release controls in the unmask section. I'm sure you've noticed me adjusting these, and this just controls how quickly the ducking reacts to your signal. Slower settings will result in more of the reverb being ducked out, so adjust accordingly. Sensitivity is really useful because you can use this to increase the input gain when you have a relatively weak signal. If you're not seeing a lot of reduction, even with unmasked cranked, then try increasing sensitivity. I have to say, this is the only reverb that comes to mind where I could feel safe slapping it on an entire mix bus. I could see myself reaching for this if I was mastering, and one song was too dry compared to the others, and I needed to adjust that. It really speaks to the quality and versatility of this reverb. And there are high and low cut filters down here to adjust the tonal response of the reverb. For instance, I slapped Aurora on the full mix bus here with a 0 length on the decay, and I can adjust the stereo widening so it doesn't impact the lower frequencies. Here's my big takeaway from Izotope Aurora. Its killer feature is adding width and dimension to your tracks. Going forward, I'm going to be reaching for Aurora as a mono to stereo insert and also as one of my main mixed reverbs. There's an insanely smooth sound to Aurora that makes me think this would be a secret hitmaker effect if it was outboard gear in a studio in the 90s. Now, that being said, because it's so clean and classy, I probably wouldn't reach for it if I was going for a heavily modulated 80s reverb guitar a la Cocteau Twins, where you want all the frequencies to muddle up and mask each other. And not all masking is bad, by the way. But this is an amazing, simple workhouse reverb that can be relied upon for all your projects. And as I mentioned earlier, I think this is a dream for beginners or composers who struggle with separation when they add reverb and effects. And at $49, or only $39 if you own any other Izotope product, this feels like a no-brainer. This is the future of reverb, and it's here for the taking now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Consider joining the channel or my Patreon to help me out. I love hearing from you, and use my affiliate links to support the channel as well. Until next time, mix well.